Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing the mid-year reading recap. I am super excited. I just googled mid-year reading recap and found a questionnaire, so that's what we're gonna run through. And I have not done any pre-work on this video whatsoever, so this is gonna be me thinking and looking through my list in real time. So we're just gonna jump in. The first question is best book you've read so far. This is gonna be really difficult for me, but I am thinking, I've read a lot of books so far this year. I've read almost 40. So I feel like oh my gosh, it's gonna take me a second. The Women by Kristen Hanna is definitely a contender. The entire Crescent City series, I think if I had to pick one, like absolutely my life depended on it, I would probably pick Crescent City. But then I also, and this is like recency bias 100%, I think of Golden Girl by Ellen Hildebrand. I loved that book. Funny Story by Emily Henry. What is it called? Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. And This Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune. Like all of those are so good. Like I'm obsessed with them. So I don't know. Take that for what it is. I just gave you 7 million options. Next question is best sequel I've read all year. This one I might have to also throw in Crescent City. I'm gonna not do that. I'm not gonna let myself repeat answers. So I think I probably have to go with the Winter in Paradise. It's Winter in Paradise, What Happens in Paradise, and Troubles in Paradise. I read all 3 this year, but What Happens in Paradise and Troubles in Paradise are both really good. So that would probably be my favorite sequel. New release you haven't read yet but want to. So this is kind of fitting because today the new Ellen Hildebrand book came out. It's called Swan Song, and then also the new Allie Hazelwood book came out and it is called Not in Love. So those are both 2 that I'm really eyeing and want to get to. My most anticipated new release is Novel Love Story by Ashley Poston, and that comes out at the end of this month. So, most anticipated release for the second half of 2023. I kind of just answered that, but I do have like programmed into my calendar like when books that I'm super excited about are coming out. So I'm gonna look through here. I am super excited about the Stephanie Garber Spectacular novella, I believe. That looks super good. It comes out in October. The Jodi Picoult new release that comes out in August I'm really excited about. That's probably, those are my answers. I think number 1 would be the Ashley Poston one though. Biggest disappointment. This one's gonna be hard too, I think. Oh, I also need to throw in for favorite book of the year, Reckless by Elsie Silver, Wild Love by Elsie Silver. Like all of those, so good. I think this is gonna be a multi-answer question again, but I think my biggest disappointments were The Bodyguard. I really anticipated liking that one, but it just did not hit for me. I didn't like the characters at all. Oh, wait a second. Did I read Yours Truly? Yes, I did read that this year. That book, scratch everything I just said, that book is my biggest disappointment. That book I hated so much. So that would be my answer there. Biggest surprise. I feel like Golden Girl, again, I'm not repeating answers, but that one was a really big surprise for me because I knew I was gonna love it, but I didn't know I was gonna love it that much. So, and I think I also could throw in Just for the Summer because Abby Jimenez has been hit or miss for me. I think I also could throw in Never by Jessa Hastings for this question, and I don't know that it's biggest surprise in a good way. I started out loving that book. It had me hooked. I think Jessa Hastings' writing is absolutely beautiful, but it got really weird really fast, and that was surprising. Like, it was shocking. Like, I was reading it and was like, what the actual F am I reading? So I think that, yeah, it's a surprise, but not in like, surprise, you love it. It was like, surprise, what the fuck am I reading? Next question is new favorite author. I think Carly Fortune is going to be up there for me. I did read one of her books like before this year, but I didn't like latch onto her writing style the way I did this year. I absolutely love her books. So I think I could say that. Kristen Hanna is another one that I discovered this year and I am obsessed. Newest fictional crush. Oh my gosh, this is a good question. Ooh, I think Ford from Wild Love, obviously. Hunt from Crescent City. Felix from This Summer Will Be Different. Oh my gosh, there's so many good ones. And it's kind of a cheat, but I'm rereading ACOTAR right now. I'm actually on Asimov, but I am falling more in love with Rhysand this time around. Like, I haven't read these books in a couple of years, and they are just hitting super hard. I know that's not newest fictional crush, but like, that is the feeling I have right now because I'm in the middle of Asimov. So, new favorite character. I feel like I have to give it to Bryce Quinlan from Crescent City. I feel like that's what this video is, but I love her. I love Rosie from Wild Love. I think I also could throw Daphne in from Funny Story. I think that she's an excellent character. I related to her a ton. Oh, and Winter from Reckless I think is also a really great answer. Book that made you cry. The Nightingale and The Women from Kristen Hanna. Those both make me sob. Crescent City made me cry. I'm trying to think what other books. There was one recently that I was like, why am I crying? I'm like surprised that I was so like moved emotionally. It was Golden Girl. That one made me cry as well because it gives you the perspective from the mom and the kids, and it was really, really sweet, as well as The Last Animal. Book that made you happy. Honestly, a lot of the books that I've read recently have made me happy. A lot of them are very summery and very like fitting for the time of year. So I think This Summer Will Be Different. I keep saying that. I'm so sorry. It's just like on my mind. I loved it so much. I am currently reading Love Interest, and that one's making me super happy too. It's got like a really light and happy feel to it. I think I could also say Just for the Summer. And I feel like I also could throw in the book club, Bromance Book Club series in this question because it's so cheesy. It makes me laugh, but it's like just such a good like brain rot series because it just takes you completely out of reality and just is really, I don't know, it's really sweet. I like that one a lot. Favorite book to movie adaptation you've seen so far? This one I feel like I can't totally answer because I haven't watched any that have been, I guess Bridgerton, but I haven't read the books. So I feel like that's kind of a cop-out answer. But The Summer I Turned Pretty will always be one of my favorites, as well as Daisy Jones and the Six. But I feel like I haven't, am I forgetting any that I watched? And also The Idea of You with Anne Hathaway, I did watch that, but I didn't read the book. So take my answers with a grain of salt on this one. The last and final question I have are, what books do you really want to read by the end of this year? And for me, one, I have been keeping up on my reading goal really, really well. Like I said, I put 75 books on here. I've read 42. So I feel like that's fantastic. Last year I did want to read 100 books and I didn't even get close. So I wanted to kind of like taper it back just a teeny bit and not like stress myself out about the number because I feel like 75 I can do. It's still gonna be a challenge because last year I think I read around like 60 or so. I'm 9 books ahead of schedule, so that's awesome. I've also had a reading slump the past like month or so. I'm coming out of it thanks to ACOTAR and some other books. That being said, I want to look at my want to read on Goodreads and see where I'm at. So I have so many on here like that have really caught my eye. For me, it's so difficult to try and like pick what books to read next because there's so many. I know that I want to read something from Kate Quinn. I know that she's really big in historical fiction, so that's something I want to jump into. I want to read more of Kristen Hanna. I want to read more of Ellen Hildebrand. I'm excited to read more from like Elsie Silver. I think she's having another book in her Rose Hill series come out soon. I want to get into some more fantasy series. So I want to read The Crowns of Nixia, I think that's how you say it. I want to read that series. I also want to get into the Dirty Air series. There's a lot of series that I'm like interested in and just haven't gotten to dive into yet. So there's a lot of those. Magnolia Parks, I've always kind of like, I have the first book, I'm literally staring at it on my wall here, but I've tried to read it before and gotten a couple pages in and I'm like, absolutely not. So I don't know. I do want to do a few more rereads this year as well. I want to do some Emily Henry rereads. As I'm rereading ACOTAR, part of me wants to reread Throne of Glass and Crescent City, so we'll see. I do also need to reread Fourth Wing. I don't know that the third book is coming out this year. Is it? I'm gonna look. Onyx Storm. It'll be published next year. January 21st, 2025. I love how that was like announced, and I'm now remembering like what the cover looked like, or at least like the render that I saw on Instagram, and how it was like, oh my gosh, 2025, we're like already almost there, which is nuts. So I think for me, I just want to continue reading and like mood reading and reading things that I'm excited about. I want to do some rereads. I want to jump into some nonfiction because that is always the hardest genre for me to like finish a book. So unless it's a memoir, then I can flip through those pretty quickly. So yeah, I feel like super accomplished with what I've read so far. I've enjoyed mostly everything I've read. I'm not afraid to like DNF something, even though like my type A personality doesn't do well with that, because I'm like, if I start something, I want to finish it and just like cross it off the list, and I can't do that, and I can't add it as a number to my tally of books I've read this year. Unless I've read like a huge chunk of it, I'm not gonna add it to my list. So oh my god, I'm tired. That is everything. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Follow me on all my socials. Those are linked down below. And if you read any of these books, or you have any of your favorites from the questions I asked, then definitely leave those down below, and I will see you guys next time.